Hey guys, it's me, 14 Fluffies again. I'm deciding to re-upload my hero deck profile because I got a better angle for the camera and better lighting. Unfortunately, I live in the darkest room in my house, so the lamp that's behind me is pretty much useless. So I pretty much had to use my school lamp, which is right there, for this ghetto as fuck setup. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm re-uploading it, because I changed my setup. So hopefully now you should be able to see things better. So let's get into the profile again. First off, we have 3 Shadow Mist. If you've seen my first video, I'm probably not going to explain this quite as much because I'm re-uploading it, and I really don't want to. I'm doing this for you guys because I don't want to give bad content. But yeah, Shadow Mist gets your searches the mass change, searches heroes, and all that good stuff. Still, 2 copies in use alias. Blazeman, because he makes combos happen. He makes amazing combos happen. Again, 2 Bubbleman because of my higher monster count, and yeah, because of the higher monster count, Bubbleman will clog pretty badly. I hate opening up with both Bubbleman. It's just the worst thing ever. Opening with both Bubbleman is just like, can I kill myself, please? I kind of want to auto-scoop if I draw both in my opening hand. It's just bad. And for the last year, we got the 1 Wild Heart, which I have a love-hate relationship with, of course, because he has won me games, but then at the same time, he's lost me games because I drew him. He's just the last search target you want to search off Shadow Mist. And you never want to search him for anything else. I mean, yeah, you could. Yeah, his only real use is going into Deanne, though. And even then, if I have the option to go into Deanne, I'd rather go into other masked heroes. So if there's ever going to be a monster I would take out, it'd be Wild Heart. And on for the non-heroes, we got the 2 Summoner Monk, because Summoner Monk gets Shadow Mist from the deck, and he helps unclog hands sometimes. Because you can pitch your useless spells, like if you draw Polymerization or Form Change, you can just pitch them with Monk, you get Shadow Mist, you can get Mass Change, you can get a more workable hand. Yeah, and then 1 Halberd because, well, one's just fine. 1 works perfectly well for me. I mean, yeah, you could gain more advantage from him, but 1 is all I need. Typically, I don't leave him on field. I normally exceed with him. I normally special, normal, attack, and then exceed. So normally I don't think I would really need multiple copies. And besides, there's always the potential to dead draw into multiple copies as well. And then we got the 1 Grand Mole, like I've discussed in the last video if you saw it. But yeah, I main deck Grand Mole, hella trollsy. It's there to help out with shittalls, because I really hate shittalls. And this just makes that matchup so much easier. And the same with the 1 BLS, the Dank Luster Soldier. I main deck him too because, you know, you're gonna always have a dark in the graveyard with Shadow Mist, and getting Alias in the graveyard isn't that hard, really. Blazeman can dump Alias. I mean, mostly Blazeman can dump Alias, but you can also dump him with cards like Mass Change 2nd, or any kind of card that will require you to discard. BLS was a lot more consistent back when I had Lavalval Chain at my disposal. I mean, it would be super consistent, just special summon Halberd, normal summon Shadow Mist or Alias if I open up with them, go into Lavalval Chain, detach the hero, send the other appropriate one to the graveyard, and then BLS is live. Yeah, but without Lavalval Chain, this isn't as consistent as it used to be. And that wraps up the monster count at 15. On to the spells, we are playing 3 Reinforcement of the Army. I used to be playing 3 Rhoda and an E-Call, but I've dropped the E-Call for Call of the Haunted, like I said. We still have 3 copies of Mystical Space Typhoon. Sorry, shaking the camera there. I have, honestly, the mount I have, actually, it's an aerial mount. I don't have anything underneath the camera. So, it's because I have a shelf and not a desk, and yeah, it's hard to explain. I mean, you'd have to see it, really. But that does it for all the 3 of spells. For the 2 ofs, still only 2 mass change because, well, I haven't really been able to go shopping within the last 2 days, unfortunately. 2 mass change because I still only have 2 copies. If I had a third one, you'd bet your ass I would make room for it. And then for the rest of the changes, the mass change second, this of course lets you have discard outlets. It lets you manipulate your graveyard. It lets you manipulate what you have in hand. It does a lot of things, but it also lets you morph Monk into Darklaw and / Anki, and also to a lesser extent, it also lets you change Halberd and Grandmal into Tian, even though realistically I'd never do that. And then for the last change is the form change, because when I go for the Blazeman play, to search Poly to make Ab-Zero, to form change the Ab-Zero into Acid to nuke the field, that's what that's there for. I mean, it also enables OTKs with Anki when I go for Anki, and this is normally what I search off of Anki, but if I happen to draw the form change when I go for my when I go to search Poly off Blazeman, I mean, that just extends the combo. And then we have the 1 mass charge to round up the mass change lineup. Now for the rest of the 1-ofs, the 1 Poly to search off Blazeman for that immediate +1. 1 Miracle Fusion, just because in the late game this card is always live. And even in mid game, it's always, I mean, if you're playing heroes, you really should play Miracle Fusion. I'm not saying that you need to. I'm not saying if you don't play it, you're a bad hero player. I'm just saying, for me personally, if you're going to be playing heroes, you need to have at least 1 Miracle Fusion. And then for the other 1-ofs, we got the 1 Book and the 1 Raigeki. And that wraps up the spell count at 15 as well. And for the traps, we have 10. Of course, the triple Call the Haunted. Like I said in my previous deck profile, I've not been playing this for the longest time, and I definitely regret it. Before I played 1 E-Call and 2 Fake Heroes. Fake Hero, actually, I kind of liked Fake Hero. I mean, the thing about it, though, is that do not use Fake Hero like it's a Goblinberg. You will be sad if you try to do that, because the monster you special summon from your hand with Fake Hero returns to your hand during the end phase, and if you try to do that with Shadow Mist just to trigger its effect, you're just going to go super minus in the long run. What I used Fake Hero for was to extend my plays. If I wanted to, say, go into an Xyz summon, and I'm not able to drop a Bubble Man, or if I don't have a Halberd, just Fake Hero something, and then normal Xyz. You know, because the monster you special summon with Fake Hero can't attack. But now that I dropped the Fake Heroes... Oh wait, before I talk about why I dropped Fake Hero, it's also... My main purpose with it is also... It was a spell, so you can drop it with Monk to get missed. But yeah, but these Call of the Haunteds are so much better, and I'm really happy that I am playing these now. Stop stuttering, please. And on to the 2-ofs. We got 2 Mirror Force. I would be playing 2 Fiendish Chains if I had a second Fiendish Chain, like I said in the last profile. If I had a second Fiendish Chain, I'd drop that Wild Heart for it. But yeah, alas, I only have 1 copy of Fiendish Chain, and I don't have money in the bank to go buy one online. So yeah. And I also haven't had the opportunity to go into a store to trade for one either. So yeah, I don't have the opportunity to get my hands on a second one, but when I do, and when I update this deck, I'll be doing another profile for you. The 1 Bottomless, because you kind of do need it on Compulse. I still play Compulse. I still think it's a really critical card in a lot of matchups. I mean, yeah, there are times where I want to side it out, my bad. I kind of need to... I'm trying to arrange it here so that it doesn't glare as all hell, because this is a gold Compulse, and, you know, it's a little too shiny for this lamp. But yeah, I love this card. I mean, it kind of bothers me that it's still at 1, because realistically, people stop playing it for Ring of Destruction. We got 1 Torrential, and then the 1 Ring. And that wraps up the main deck. Now, on to the extra deck. Nothing has really changed here either. So, we still have the 1 Contrast Hero. He's still the best monster to go into, to use Miracle Fusion to go into. I mean, the Shining is still really good, and Ab-Zero is really good, but this guy is the best. And if you ever have multiple mass tiers in grave, I definitely hope to draw Miracle Fusion to make him. Okay, we have the one Deanne still, because Deanne gets Shadow Mist from deck during the battle phase, so you can swing over a monster with Deanne, special Shadow Mist, attack with Shadow Mist, and then mass change it, and then you could choose to mass change it immediately if you don't want the free plus or anything, but I would recommend not doing that. And then we got the one Anki, because Anki, he's a good dark target, but most of the time I'd rather go into Dark Law. But if I am in a situation where an opponent has a monster I can't really kill, Anki is where I'd want to go, because I can just bypass that monster completely and attack directly. So yeah, still one copy of The Shining. Yeah, new sleeve for it. It's kind of, yeah, still one copy of The Shining, because The Shining is good. He definitely gets really big if you can drop the BLS, especially if you have that BLS. One copy of Acid, because Acid nukes back row, and back row nuking is always fun, especially if you're playing against Teller Knights. They just cry. But, you know, chances are Fiendish Chain happens. Or Nova Alpha. Something stupid. One Ab-Zero, because I still only play 2 Bubble Man. If I had 3 Bubble Man, I would consider playing 2 Ab-Zero. We got one Koga, because he's the Dark Claw killer in the mirror match. And speaking of Dark Claw, we got the 2 Dark Claw. You kind of need to play the 2 Dark Claw. 3 is too much, in my experience. Well, actually, I never had 3, so I wouldn't know, but 3, I'd imagine, is way too much, and 1 is not enough. Like, there are times where your first Dark Claw dies, and you want to make a second one. So, that wraps up the fusions at 9. And now for the Exceeds. Starting off, we have one Dark Rebellion Exceeds Dragon, because he gets over big monsters that you can't normally get over otherwise. That would be, well, it would be anything in Cleese that got normal summoned besides towers. Dark Claw in the mirror match, because chances are your opponent's gonna have a lance, and they're gonna try and stop, and they're gonna try and make your monster bigger than Dark Claw. So this card doesn't. There's no fucking around there. You'd have your opponent's Dark Claw and swing over it, no matter what they have. Except Mirror Force, because Mirror Force is, of course, something that is played in Heroes. One copy of Castel. You need to play... I'm not even going to say. Castel's just a staple. I'm not going to bullshit. One copy of Excalibur, because Towers is a bitch, and you need to get rid of it. One Dweller, because... One Dweller, because of those times you can't make Dark Claw against Burning Abyss. You can just make this and, you know, just wreck them just as hard. Still... the heroic champion Rungomanyad. He's, like I said, on paper he is incredible, but in practice he is highly impractical. I would definitely, if there's anything in my extra deck I would swap out, other than the Deanne, it would probably be this guy, because I'd rather have something more practical. Something like a Digusto Emerald, a Delta Rose, an Ouroboros. If Lavalval Chain comes back, that's going out in a heartbeat for the Lavalval Chain. If Utopia the Lightning comes anytime soon, I'll probably end up ditching something and then this for Utopia and the Lightning, because I have a Utopia, just I never had the real occasion to use it because I don't have anything good to use it with. And then lastly, one Rhapsody and Berserk. Actually, this is what I'd probably drop for that Utopia. This for Utopia and that for Utopia the Lightning seems alright, really. I mean... doesn't sound bad, but Utopia the Lightning's definitely worth 2 spots. And not to mention, Utopia actually is kind of done it because my bad. It does kind of have a novel use against Cosmos, because trollishly enough, it actually stops their battle phase. And okay, and onto the side deck. Nothing has changed here, of course. We still got the one Gores, because Gores is good, along with the token. I don't have an actual Gores token, so, but I did happen to get this by fate when I bought cards online. This happened to come in for free, and that token definitely is nice. If only I had a matching sleeve to go with that token. Oh well. Still playing the triple Artifact Lancia. Still haven't really been able to test it yet. I mean, I'm not too sure how good it is against Cosmos, because the banishing effects for Farm Girl and Good Witch are costs. and even then they can just chain their effects to Lancia. So I'm not sure how good Lancia is for Cosmos, but I know it's good for Ritual Beasts as long as they don't have macro. But even then, you can still... Even then, it doesn't need to go to the graveyard for its effect to trigger, so you can turn off that macro for a turn. And it's also a thing that I think would be really good in Hero Mirror Match, because you can just ditch this and then turn off Darklaw for a turn. So you can kind of just call a truce for a turn, and just so you can play Yu-Gi-Oh regularly. I don't know, it's just a thought. And then one Veiler, because I still only have one Veiler. If I had more Veilers, of course I'd play more. I'd probably drop a Lancia for the second Veiler, just saying. Okay, spells. Still back to square one. Still, I think, a really novel card with a really novel use. It is, since it is a spell equivalent of Phoenix Wing Windblast. And then, of course, my favorite spell all time, to Kaiser Coliseum, because this card really fucks over a lot of decks. Ritual Beasts and Yang Zings will cry when they see that card. I'm not even kidding. Like, if you can sit on one monster that they can't beat over, plus a Kaiser Coliseum, you will win. That's why I said in my last video, like, if you, against Ritual Beasts, if you sit on an Alias plus Kaiser Coliseum, they will never be able to beat it unless they have the regular Apelio. Unless they have Apelio, yeah, unless they do have the Apelio, then they can beat over Alias, but chances are you're not going to let that happen. And that wraps up the spells in the side deck, and then for the traps, we got the obligatory triple Mind Crush for, you know, every matchup ever. Really, I kind of just noticed that I don't have a lot sided for Necros. Oh shit, I need to get some shared rides then. I'm not even gonna use that as an excuse to go on a shopping spree. I think I've learned better than that. And then for the last three traps, still 3/7 tools, because fucking over Ritual Beasts and Teller Knights with this card is hilarious. Yeah. Still shaking the camera, my bad. And that will do it for the deck profile, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.